from Massachusetts. It's the special election to fill the U.S. Senate seat Ted Kennedy held for almost half a century. The Democrat in what is suddenly a nail-biter, Martha Coakley, currently the state attorney general. Her Republican opponent is a state senator named Scott Brown. A win by Brown would mean a 41st Republican in the U.S. Senate, and that would be a game changer. CNN national political correspondent Jessica Yellen joins me live from Boston with the state of the race and the stakes for the country. Jessica, tell me why we care so much about this.
Okay, Ali, two main reasons. First of all, you just talked about the math. 41 votes would go to the Republicans if the Republican wins tomorrow. And you know what that means? It means health care reform could be dead in the water. It means Democrats would have to find a new, creative, different way to pass health care reform. So that would be a huge challenge for Democrats, and if they lose it, potentially a devastating defeat. That's one reason. Another reason is because it potentially says a lot about where Democrats stand right now in the eyes of voters. The fact that this seat, which was held by Ted Kennedy, the liberal lion as he was called for so many years, could go to a Republican, says that in many ways, voters right now are feeling dissatisfied with incumbents. The polls show in the state they're dissatisfied with the president, and the Democrats will dispute that, but plenty of polls show it. And there's a general sense that this would be so dispiriting and upsetting to the Democrats in general that it really could spell significant losses in the midterm elections later this year, and maybe even force the Obama administration to change their agenda a little bit in the coming months, Ali. It really would have a significant ripple effect.
I saw some polling this morning. This is literally a dead heat at this point.
It's even the latest poll shows that the Republican has pulled ahead. And it's just, for people here, it's astonishing. Folks who think of that Senate seat as, it's even been called the Kennedy seat. And the idea that it would go to a Republican is astounding to many people who've lived in this state for decades. So it will be a nail biter.
Jessica, is this got anything to do with Coakley, or is this all about the national politics right now?
You know, it really depends who you ask. So Republicans want to say this is all about health care reform, that this is voters' way of saying they don't want health care reform to pass. So that's what a lot of Republicans are saying. Nationally, Democrats who are supportive of Obama nationally say this is really not about Obama. It's about Martha Coakley and the fact that she's run a very sloppy campaign. She's made a lot of gaffes, and she's not very warm, approachable, doesn't feel like she's one of the people. And then you talk to Democrats here and they say, look, the president has not made this a very good environment for us. The economy's tough. People are worried about big government. And all of that's combining to make this a very bad environment for a Democrat to run. But a little bit is true in all three of those scenarios. In
reality, though, it's not going to be good for the White House if they lose this one. I understand that Martha Coakley has released an ad now highlighting the president. So they're trying to bring the president into this and I guess gain some popularity that way?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what they're trying to do is, she doesn't even have, her support among Democrats is not where it should be or could be. So they're trying to pump up the turnout by Democrats tomorrow by bringing the president yesterday, putting out an ad with him. And the contrarian logic now is that because there's so much press around the fact that Coakley is down in the polls, more Democrats are going to want to come out and bring her back up. And that's what Democrats are counting on. The polls aren't showing it yet, Ali.
All right, Jessica, we will be watching it very, very closely. And, of course, this happens tomorrow. We'll be on top of it then as well. Jessica Yellen in Boston, Massachusetts on this very interesting race.